Welcome to this special edition of Rewind of the Living Dead. I'm Damon Martin.
And I'm Patrick Guerra, and this special episode of Rewind of the Living Dead is brought to you by MammothHeadwear.com. Got a big head, get a big hat at MammothHeadwear.com, and visit them on Instagram at MammothHeadwear.
And don't forget to enter the code REWIND at checkout. Get 10% off. Get 10% off your big head with the big hat at MammothHeadwear.com.
That big head needs 10% off. I trust it.
Code is rewind. Check it out. So, Patrick, we are back. New episode literally just dropped, but we are talking about Talk to Me. Huge episode, but we couldn't skip out on what is going to end up being one of the biggest films, one of the biggest horror films of the year, and that is The Exorcist Believer. Now, you and I actually saw this trailer when we saw Oppenheimer a matter of days ago together, when we were together in San Diego. It was an exclusive, which, by the way, I want to commend Blumhouse, Universal, whoever made the decision to release as a theater-only exclusive for a few days. I love that because I love seeing trailers in the theater. So really cool. We got to see this one a couple days ahead of time, and then of course now it hit to the general public today. So we thought, what better way to offer our initial reaction to The Exorcist Believer than to actually watch the trailer together with all of you and give our initial thoughts on what we're seeing here. So yeah. This is the new trailer for The Exorcist Believer. You ready to get into this?
I'm excited. Let's do it.
So what we're going to do is we're watching this on YouTube. We're going to count down 3, 2, 1, play. When we say play, you say play. You can watch along with us. You'll see the video on the bottom of the screen, but we're going to do this real time so we can react to the video as we watch it. So, Patrick, when I say play, we go. So we say, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Good day. Hey, be home by dinner.
I love you. Good morning, Mr. Fielding.
Morning,
That
Cat.
brown jacket.
Kids have an
And here are
innocent
your
enough
daughters,
day.
Angela and Catherine. It's about 7
You know
hours
it's
ago.
about to go
That's the
awry.
last information we have.
Catherine!
Angela?
If you can hear this, we love you. Please come home.
Kids lost in the woods, never good.
Hey, you found her?
Mm-mm.
What are you and Catherine doing out there in those woods?
We were just walking and walking. That's all I remember.
Oh, the scars.
Can you tell your
They
dad
look
how
familiar.
long you were gone?
A few hours.
Baby, you've been gone 3 days.
Whoops.
Oh, yeah. You know it's about to get real. The music. The little hit of the music. The tubular bell.
Best part. You know that's the best part.
Thought I heard you say something.
See, this is why you don't have children. Right here. This kind of stuff. I'm out.
That happens 5 times a day here, minimum.
See, I'm done.
Wherever those
Yep.
girls
Ow.
went, they brought something back with them.
The body and the blood of Jesus
And
Christ.
down, of course. Joining
They
this.
brought Ann Dowd with them is what they brought.
Oh, the tubular bells, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way it's used in this trailer.
Catherine.
Body in the blood. The body in the blood.
She doesn't look well.
Body in the blood.
Catherine.
The body in the blood.
That voice
The body in the blood.
sounds familiar.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Mommy?
No, but there are
Oh.
people out there who have.
There she is.
You have
Regan, there it is. With her
Oh.
name.
Yes, more than that.
And there's her mother, the classic, the icon.
I believe you can help
Oh.
get our girls back.
Exorcism is a ritual. Every culture, every religion.
She's like,
they all
"Shit,
use
again?"
different methods. It's going to take all of them.
I love that they brought her back for this.
We've met before.
That's the scene right there. That's the scene.
Very reminiscent.
Is that Catherine's heartbeat?
They're beating in sync.
Kids just be doing this, though. That's not even an exorcism issue.
Take all my money right now.
I don't think the trailer was done and I texted you in the theater. Like I'm as giddy as a schoolgirl right now, and I've watched that trailer 10 times. It's it's something special, Damon.
So
I mean,
that
what was that initial like hit for you?
so my immediate reaction watching the theater and then watching it again today, and I just watched a little bit ago with my girlfriend because she's seen The Exorcist and it's like, oh, you got to see the trailer. The use of tubular bells was my favorite part. The little
Big part.
the tease, and then they actually play it. I love that. I'd say second only to Halloween as the most iconic horror theme music of all time, like most recognizable. Like I think Halloween is number one, John Carpenter, but Tubular Bells is second in my opinion as far as like the most iconic horror music of all time. Just so recognizable. Maybe alongside Jaws. I mean,
Yeah, I would say Jaws, Halloween, and then The Exorcist.
I think Halloween's number one. I think everyone and their brother knows Halloween more than you.
Jaws is technically a blockbuster and not a horror movie, but I'd say it's a fucking horror movie.
Anyways, one of the most iconic songs. I like the way that they kind of teased it, and of course you bring back Ellen Burstyn. I mean, come on, like
Yeah.
that's just her appearance. Now, I am infinitely curious how they're going to address like the whole Reagan of it all, her daughter. You know,
Yeah.
they're basically this film is very much what David Gordon Green, who is the director, who also directed the 3 Halloween films from recently, Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends, or as I like to call it, Corey Ends. He's also doing this one, and from my understanding, this is a direct sequel to The Exorcist, the original Exorcist. This isn't, carrying on from The Exorcist 2, The Heretic, or The Exorcist 3, or any of the other Exorcist films out there. This is just a direct sequel to the original, and so we're kind of ignoring all the other canon from the other films, much like he did with Halloween. So I am curious, like, what are they going to do with Reagan? Like, is she dead? Like, I'm assuming they're going to address it, obviously, with her mother coming back. So I think that's a super interesting part. But I do love that they brought back Ellen Burstyn for this role. I mean, I think she's like 90 now.
Yeah.
Still kicking ass and taking names. And I got chills when she appeared in this trailer.
I got sad. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like when you're old, you're like, I want to be done with this shit. And like, I'm not talking about horror movies. I'm talking about the actual character herself. And I was like, poor old woman has to go through this all again. And Damon on the flip side, on the requel side of it all, because this is kind of a requel. We have now 2 girls that are possessed, and it looks very similar to what happened to poor little Regan all those years ago. And you just go, oh my God. And it looks as ugly, and it looks as scary, and it sounds as scary. And I'm like, yeah, take all the money now. I want it. And by the way, did you notice there was like, I didn't pick up on a ton of Easter eggs because it's been a while since I watched The Exorcist itself. But at the end of the trailer, there starts to be this like flash or like kind of washes over everything. Do you know what that's in reference to?
Tell me.
They made a trailer that actually got banned for being too scary. Now, we've talked about this with The Omen, that a lot of what's too scary or cursed or whatever was actually just great marketing at the time, and it was really working. They had put together this trailer that was basically just a series of flashes, and you can look it up on YouTube, and I think it's called the Exorcist Banned trailer. I think if you search that on YouTube, you'll find it. And it is just this kind of series of flashes, and then of course you end up seeing Reagan and you see the demon face and all that crazy stuff. But at the back end of this trailer, you saw that. So I love that little nod to it. Did you pick up on any other little Easter eggs in there?
I mean, just little things, like I said, just the voice.
The brown jacket?
The brown jacket, but I did hear the voice when she comes there and says the body and the blood. That was the voice you heard with Reagan, back then. That was very recognizable. The upside down cross. I mean, all the little markers of the first film kind of reliving in this film. That's what I mostly noticed was that, and then of course the tubular bells was just my favorite part. So that was the biggest thing I noticed. Here's like I said, so far, I mean, again, you got me. I mean, they're going to get my $15, $20, whatever it's going to cost to go see this movie in October. I'm going to be the first guy in line to see it. My one hope for this movie, one thing we both complimented the 2018 Halloween on was how they really upped the brutality of that movie. Like, that was a super brutal film. Not quite as brutal as Rob Zombie's Halloween, but pretty brutal and a very scary Halloween film. The Exorcist is brutal, and it's pretty graphic. I mean, it is incredibly graphic. It was a very controversial film at the time it came out. I'm not saying they should make it controversial for the sake of being controversial, but the bar has already been set. And so my biggest question or my biggest curiosity, the trailer looks amazing. I just hope that it carries out into the film, that they don't pull any punches. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're in an area now where you wonder, like, are they gonna dumb it down for a more wide audience, or are they gonna be willing to put things in there? Because if you put the original Exorcist back in theaters today, it would still be controversial now. Like,
Yeah.
some of the things that happened in that movie would still be controversial today. I hope that they don't. I hope that they don't avoid any of that, because there's some brutal stuff in that film. If you go back and watch it, man, to this day you can watch it, you're like kind of hiding your eyes a little bit.
Yeah.
I hope they don't pull any punches. That's my only. I also a concern, just a curiosity. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure that, like, they're going to make it as real and as relentless as the original Exorcist. That's my only request.
And I think they will, just based on the track record that David Gordon Green had with Halloween. You're right. It did come out of the gates swinging. It was brutal, way more brutal than the original movie. So I do believe they're going to stay at least in that same vein of just being like, this is going to be the hardest thing you'll have to watch this year. In a good way. Like, it was like, we're going to push the envelope all the way. But Damon, let you and I be honest here one moment, because I know for a fact that while we sat there at Oppenheimer watching this trailer, hearing the tubular bells and all that stuff, was very exciting. But let's be real. You knew, just like I knew, that I was going to see this, that you were going to see this movie right away on opening night when you saw yours and mine favorite, Ann Dowd. I had no idea Ann Dowd was in this movie. Maybe you did, but I don't research anything ahead of time. So I like to be as cold as possible. So when I saw that trailer, I had no idea that yours and mine favorite, Ann Dowd, who a lot of people know from Hereditary, probably even more people know from Handmaid's Tale. Ann Dowd is an A++ actor. And I'm so excited that she's going to be part of this. And I really hope she's like a big part of this. Tell me, Damon, when you saw Ann Dowd, you were like, it doesn't matter. I don't care if Corey's in this movie. I'm seeing it.
Well, I don't know if I go that far, but I was pretty excited. I was like, wow, that's a great bit of casting, because that is just she's an incredible actor. I love her in everything she's done. She's great in The Handmaid's Tale. She's a chilling, really serious actor. And so, yeah, that was an incredible addition to this film. Obviously bringing back a legend like Ellen Burstyn is a huge part of it, but getting someone like Ann Dowd, that's like the cement that's going to serve as your foundation. Yeah. And I love that you go that route. And I've actually paid a lot of attention to this, I knew the film was coming, I knew who was directing, I knew all the release and everything, but I don't remember her being cast. And so it was a little surprise to me as well. Not to say, maybe, I'm sure it did get announced somewhere, maybe I just missed it, but yeah. I was super excited to see her casting. That was a genius piece of it. And you mentioned Corey. So my legendary disdain for Halloween Ends and Corey as a character has reached so far that I actually, when the trailer dropped today, we put it up on the Rewind of the Living Dead Instagram. You can go watch it over there. Just search Rewind of the Living Dead on Instagram. You'll find it. One of our fans reached out to me on Instagram, and they said, when the trailer started, I was terrified that they were going to replace the demon with Corey. And I was like, oh no. I was like, people understand. People really do understand my disdain for Corey from Halloween Ends at this point.
Corey would be your ultimate demon. That would be your ultimate horror movie, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be like, he's scarier than Freddy, scarier than Michael Myers, he's scarier than Jason. It's Corey. Yeah. Listen. For all my issues with David Gordon Green, how he finished this. Now, remember, this is supposed to be a trilogy. There is going to be an Exorcist trilogy. Mm-hmm. If suddenly the messages is that this can affect everyone, and suddenly the entire world is possessed by demons, we might have a different conversation. But for the first trailer, it's super impressive. I'm very excited. I will say, and I'm being honest when I say this, I have tempered my expectations, because I was way excited for the Halloween that came out in 2018, and by and large, I was super impressed by that movie, and very happy. And of course, we know how it ended in a much different fashion with Halloween Ends. I will say, because of Halloween Ends, I've lowered my expectations for Exorcist Believer. Not saying I think it's going to be bad. I'm just saying, like, I'm not going in expecting magic. I'm going in hoping for magic, but I don't expect it. And I hope I'm pleasantly surprised because I love this franchise. I'm the weirdo. I love The Exorcist 3. I actually even like The Exorcist Beginning, the prequel they did. As weird as
Dominion?
people don't like that. Dominion. I actually like that movie.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. I actually enjoy it. Stellan Skarsgård is great. So, yeah. So I'm on board, man. The trailer was fantastic. This is a good. I know you actually kind of hate trailers because you don't like to see any information from a movie. I love a good trailer, especially a good trailer in the cinema. And
If it's good, it's hard to deny.
yeah, this was a really good trailer.
It really was a good trailer. Yeah, I don't like normal spoilers. I mean, I think for big blockbuster movies I know they're going to be very, very big, I do kind of want to know something, or, it's usually Marvel and stuff, but like, I do make an exception for franchises, for big franchises. So the horror franchise ones, I do want to see the trailer. I do want to know what they're cooking up. It gets me hype. It gets me excited. And I am hype and excited for Exorcist Believer coming out Friday the 13th in October, if I'm not mistaken.
Friday, October 13th. I was like, man, so you better plan a horror movie to come out on that day for Friday, October 13th. And The Exorcist Believer is going to be it. And so, yes, we will have a massive episode surrounding that later this year in October. We will have a huge episode of Rewind of the Living Dead. And of course, I think, of course, we're also going to review the original Exorcist before
I think it's in order, yes.
So we will talk about the classic Exorcist before Exorcist Believer actually opens. So October 13th is the date. The trailer's available right now on YouTube. You can also find it over on our Facebook page. Just search Rewind of the Living Dead, or on Instagram. We posted it both places if you haven't seen it yet. And yeah, this is good, man. Like I said, I can't tell what the film's going to totally be like. I can't say it's going to be good or bad, but if the trailer is any indication, this was a kick-ass trailer. Whoever cut it, whoever decided to throw in the tubular bells the way they did, A++ work, man. This is, and you know what? You work in the film industry, you know this, Patrick. It's an art form to make a good trailer. Like, a good trailer can really sell a movie, and a bad trailer can really ruin a movie.
You're damn right it can. Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm very excited to see it. Oh, also, folks, be sure to pick up our t-shirt. It's a limited edition t-shirt, sizes small through XXL at rewindofthelivingdead.bigcartel.com. That's rewindofthelivingdead.bigcartel.com.
We appreciate everyone checking us out for this quick reaction video to the new trailer for The Exorcist Believer. We'll be back with our regular edition of Rewind of the Living Dead in a matter of days. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys soon.
Peace.